I don't try to top an album. That's a really weird thing to explain. My tastes in music change, my ideas and the way I write songs changes, and it just evolves. And I don't sit there thinking, right, let's make a plan, and getting a whiteboard out and trying to draw a diagram of what the album needs to have. I just have a feeling for it, and it's like opening up a door in my heart or my soul, and I just play what feels right as far as production is concerned. That will always evolve whether I try to or not. I would not be able to go back and produce Empires to sound exactly like it did. It would be impossible. It was based upon my naivety, my ignorance of the production process, my inability to get access to a lot of technology, but it had soul. It had a hell of a lot of soul, which a lot of people mistake, that they think, oh, this is good industrial and whatever. I think that was a very emotional, soulful album. It's also based upon the place I am at in my life. I've always written music for myself, in that I write it for myself alone. It's the music I would enjoy personally, not just making, but listening to. And I had different focuses with the different albums as to what I imagine that music sounding like in a certain location. Like with Praise the Fallen, there were a lot of tracks I thought, wow, this would be great to hear in a club. It'll never get played in a club because we're nobody and nobody cares who we are. It's not a conscious process for me. I don't see this as a product. I don't see this as I'm setting a bar for myself. I just learn new ways of writing songs. With Of Faith, Power and Glory, I think what I did was I did not hold back. Whereas with Judgment, I was maybe a little bit hesitant to go too far in some directions. And I had some throwbacks in there, like there's a song called Descent on it, which I thought was just classic 80s, mid-80s, dark, loads of sequences, industrial with no real melodies or anything like that, just loads of sequences clashing against each other. Bits of like The Clinic and bands like that in there. Every now and again, I indulge my references to my influences or my heroes, or bands that I loved, or albums I loved, or a track I loved. Going back into really obscure sort of stuff, or late 70s bands like La Dusseldorf and proto sort of DAF and things like that. Like my musical knowledge or my musical taste is just based upon the fact that I am hungry and have always been hungry for music. So even an ambient track on an album might have been inspired by something Brian Eno did. There was even a drum loop that was inspired by, My Life in a Bush of Ghosts, the one he did with David Byrne. I don't necessarily try to top an album, I just try to indulge influences and hope I'm doing the right thing.